Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. I'm going to do a message for my winner today, but you'll notice that if you wound up here, you probably resonate with the message too, because that's the way that energy works. Don't mind me. I am suffering with my allergies, something fierce today, but I pushed on through because I wanted to show up, you know? Just allergies. Hurricane stirred up everything. So if you guys are new to the channel, I like to go deep within the reading. So I look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to see why everything's playing out the way that it is. There's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what you do. That means that your habits and your behaviorisms are built on your core beliefs. A lot of times we're not aware of what those core beliefs are. They're a lot of times, well, all of the time, our core beliefs are developed in childhood. And then, a lot of times what happens is we go through life and we see different perceptions of situations that allows us to form our own beliefs. But otherwise, if trauma was built on a core belief, that belief became suppressed and then repressed. So our energy vibration is going to be of a low vibration when we have repressed negative energy. It doesn't mean that we're a bad person. It just means that the psyche couldn't deal with the experience that had happened. And in order to deal with it, we form behaviorisms and habits. Problem is that those habits and those behaviorisms that you formed in survival are going to be what sabotages you, like to when it comes to thriving, when it comes to actually obtaining what you want. So if you've been in any type of relationship with a narcissist, whether it's you're a child of a parent that's a narcissist, or you actually dated a narcissist, well, until you learn from the spiritual lesson, and part of learning is not just seeing how you contributed to the dynamic of the connection, but transmuted the negative energy. What did you do with the negative energy? You can't just get rid of negative energies. It's creative energy. Negative energy is considered fire energy, which is creative energy once you utilize it and channel it in a different way. It's the only energy that actually can change anything, can create change, believe it or not. So it's important energy. All right, so let's take a peek. I think I'm being called to take two cards for the word of the video. Mix it up a little bit. All right. Word naturalist. And let's see. And wisdom. We've been getting a lot of this, which is, it's like that knowledge, that wisdom, what you see, the sacred geometry, it's the spiritual connection. It's like one that transcends time and space. It's a knowing. It's a higher knowing. It's like, I don't know how I know, I just know. And it's because it's a language of the universe, which is claircognizance. It's connected to our crown chakra. And naturalist is obviously like, it just feels like home. It feels like it feels natural. It feels like it's supposed to be. Now, even though we see these cards, it doesn't mean that that's what's manifesting. A lot of times this energy, when we're talking about shadows, which is always what I tend to look at, you'll see a lot of psychological reversals, which is why people get readings, because they're like, okay, like this is a person that I'm supposed to be connected to that's supposed to show me feelings, and they don't show me feelings. They don't show me anything. They play games. Well, that's because, again, they formed spiritual blocks, and those blocks, we create behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with those blocks, which is the core belief, not with what the true self wants. It means that the ego is running the show. And so you might say, well, why do I always attract people that, have the ego? Well, because on some level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, you have blocks. You're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. It's just, it'll come out in a different attachment style. Like, you won't see your imbalance the same as your person's imbalance. You won't see the same behaviorisms either because of the attachment style. So it's important to understand what your attachment style is because once you integrate that lesson, you change the dynamic of that, your situation. Okay, dutiful, giving too much to others, neglecting what you need. Make sure to nurture yourself. Yeah, so anxious avoidance. So that's somebody that would be, would give too much to other people that were family, other people, just to avoid their own situations. And that's also a way when a person's like acts dutiful to like family or friends, it makes them feel good. It's almost like a martyr, someone that like hides behind doing good acts because they don't feel good about themselves, because they don't know who they are. So a person that doesn't know who they are never really likes that. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's like that winds up being a codependent relationship. Like you say, I feel like it's easy for you to help them because But the truth of the matter is, if a person has an emotional connection to you and they really have feelings for you, they don't want you to see their flaws. So the thing is, it would be easy because you'd say, hey, in a perfect world, you see what needs to be healed and you want to do that. However, that will trigger your person a lot of times because they don't want you to see them weak. They don't want you to see them flawed if they really care. And that, again, troublemaker, what you'll see is, again, a lot of resistance where I feel like this person does not feel good about the connection. And it's not because they don't have feelings. A person that has feelings for someone makes those feelings make them think about themselves first. Again, how is this connection going to affect me? How is this a connection? So I feel like your person tends to like have like this double side. They will be dutiful and give to their family, to their friends, to certain people, but then they also, when it comes to like creating the intimacy between you and them, they'll create trouble. And part of that trouble would be, just not opening up. And if you don't go too deep, if a person doesn't go too deep within a connection, what'll happen is it creates intimacy issues, which is trust issues, if that makes sense. I don't know if you're following me. So like when you were dealing with this person, like what you see is avoidant. Yeah, because what you see is it's avoidant. It's like it's the dutiful shows you like, again, I'm going to do something to make myself feel better because I don't feel good. But then in the relationship department where they could actually like benefit from being in a connection, because that helps you open up your heart. It helps you, become vulnerable. It helps, but the person has to not have all these spiritual blocks. So I'm just looking and seeing what it was like when you were with this person, and then denial, not willing to like actually look at the issue, which is always what happens. It's like the person doesn't want to make changes, then mainly because they created the behaviorisms as a way for survive, to feel safe. Emotionally safe is the same as physically safe when we're talking about psychic. His avoidant would be that he'd go to the bathroom. Well, it's again, avoidant is any form of escapism. So, if the person has a lot of spiritual issues, and that's why I was saying, like, you're like, I want to help this person, but you can't help a person that doesn't want to be helped. It's like the relationship alone, however, the divine says, well, the relationship alone is helping this person. It's just you're not going to see that they're open to it, like being it helping them, but it created awareness, and that's really what it's about, because it's like this person has now is confronted: do I want to change, or do I not want to change? Right? I mean, that's when you came into this person's life. So what usually happens is that the person doesn't feel like they can change, especially if there's addiction there, because it's the way that they learned how to deal with life. We see again, yeah, it's, if anything, what happens is that this person, because they just have one setback after another setback, and it's like nothing but hardships and misfortune. So it's because they create it, and it's because they're never present. Hey, Siska, so they feel like he did like your presence, but it's also the thing of you would want this person to step it up. And what this person felt like was that they really couldn't do it, because how they dealt with the feelings of being broken, because that's what this person feels, that like they're broken, but they're the ones that create all their misfortune. They're the ones that create the problems, because they don't change their habits. They don't change their behaviorism. So having you there, it's like, yeah, I have unconditional love for you, Sassy. That's the person says, I have that. That's why you felt that. You're like, feel like he was open to it. He is, but this has nothing to do with you. However, his behaviorisms, his actions are going to make you feel as if it's you sometimes. And because, again, they can't show up. And it's because they keep self-sabotaging themselves. Person that goes into the bathroom and does drugs, that they're avoiding, but they're not just avoiding the relationship, they're avoiding stuff that's inside of them. And it's usually, again, that big gaping hole that people feel when they're basing their life on the events that they lived, and then they don't like the events that they've manifested, but they haven't really been fully grounded in that, especially if they've done drugs, right? Well, there's a spiritual connection, Sassy, but that doesn't go into, like, again, like all this person's spiritual blocks. It's not that there wasn't, it's that there's a feeling of that the person feels that they're broken. It says that here. It's like there is like a spiritual connection, but when we see this, a lot of times it's like the message for you is going to be like, well, why did I attract a person that's this broken into my life? Though you'll be like, obviously, like, I want to know what the person's going to do because I have feelings for them. However, the relationship is all about self-awareness, self-improvement. And that's what I'm saying on both parties, because obviously, if a person has feelings, emotional feelings, And it makes them dive deep within inside of themselves. They're faced with a choice. Do I want to fix this? Or do I not want to fix this? Can I fix this? And a lot of times, a person that's learned how to deal with life through their addictions, like they have to replace the addiction with something else. That's the law of transmutation. You can't just get rid of addiction. That's why a lot of times people that have addictions, when they utilize their energy and they channel it towards something else, they become the most successful. There's many a time you see an alcoholic become like the top business person, and it's because all that obsessive energy, all that again energy that was channeled into destroying yourself, winds up going into creating yourself. And that's the law of transmutation. So again, I believe that you are like a mirror to this person, because you make this person look at themselves, and vice versa, where you said something like, I feel like I could help this person. And part of wanting to help this person, I think, is part of wanting to help you. It's uplifting to you. It's, wanting to evolve, wanting to elevate, wanting to feel good, because you can do that. But it's that a lot of times we will feel like the relationship will do that for us. And I feel like your person being broken assumed that, again, you would do that for them too. And a lot of times that's what this past life karmic mate, soulmate will do. It's like it stirs up so many feelings, and the love feels perfect, and it feels like it's so healing. However, the double-edged sword is that no one can heal you. You have to heal yourself. You can bring the horse to water, and that's essentially what you did by showing up in this person's life, because they're now confronted in order to be in a relationship that you would want to be in a relationship of give and take, equal reciprocity. How does that work when the person doesn't feel good about themselves? And that's why I'm saying it's like, right, you get help from helping this person. However, we have to say, well, maybe you need to channel that energy into yourself, because once you would pour it into yourself, you wouldn't you wouldn't want to feed this person to actually help them. You would want to be with someone that was more on your vibration. Because what bothers me, Sassy, is like you're dealing with a person that's not really capable of doing it. Like the more that you elevate, the more that this person, they'll elevate, but just not at the same rate, and you're already on a higher vibration. So that's what I see here. I see, again, the mirror is, well, what do you need to heal with inside of yourself? It's not so much about this person, but the irony is, once you begin to heal yourself, well, now you become even more appealing to that person. Right, that's the issue. You need to put the energy into yourself, because by staying connected to this person, it's like, well, you wind up being codependent. This person doesn't really ever do it. And they wind up hiding behind the fact that they don't, and you wind up playing a role, and you wind up that not ever getting what you need. So I feel like he represents that. And now, don't get me wrong, you coming into this person's life, there's love there, there's unconditional love there. This person can't control that. But they also know that it would require them to walk a certain walk, that you're not just going to be with a bum. You're not just going to be with someone that doesn't do anything. Like I said, what will happen is, once you put your energy into yourself, well, then what winds up happening is you do get appreciation. You do get noticed, and that's the thing, because you're a good catch. This person, by not doing it, They're like, well, maybe you don't know what your worth is. And because if you're caring so much about me and I don't love me, then I'm not going to value you. And it has nothing to do with you, it has to do with how well this person loves themselves. And because they don't value themselves, they don't value anyone that loves them either. He became lazy because when things went wrong, I noticed I'd get a text and request to come over, which I, yeah, like it, well, what that is like I need emotional. I need my emotional. I don't feel good about myself. Let you do it. I know that you're going to do it. I know that you're going to, because that's what you show me. You show me that. Like you came in that way. So that's why this person's like, I don't really need to do it. And that's what I was saying, which keeps you stuck in this karmic loop of feeling like you're not deserving, where really that's what the wound is, that you're like, I've always feel like I'm the person that gives, I'm the person that does, that I can't get back. But your spirit says you have to give yourself the love, you have to pour it into yourself, because this person isn't capable, they don't love themselves. And it is that, and that's what the problem is. It's not like you can't, I'm sure, but then if you're pouring all the attention into caring about what this person feels and about healing them, are you doing it for yourself? That's what, you know what I mean? Right. Well, it would drain you because it wasn't bringing anything to the table, you know? Now, will this person notice, like, when you leave their life? Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Of course, you were neglecting you, because this person, listen, people come in and they hide behind their brokenness. Oh, I'm broken. So if you're a good person, and you're an empath, you're sensitive, they know, oh, well, look, you want to come in and fix me. You want to come in and give to me. Well, because you like me. So you're going to give to me. You're not going to be paying attention that fact that I'm not giving you. So you didn't set appropriate boundaries right from the beginning. But if you were to take yourself away, well, they wouldn't be able to replace that energy with anyone. That's why the song goes, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Would they be able to replace you? Yeah, with somebody else that they would hook up with, but no one that would care the way that you care. So you're the supply that allows them to stay at a low vibration, really, because, hey, I'm getting my love, I'm getting my needs met. So every time I feel bad, I want you to come over. I want you to be the fixer. I want you to make me feel good about myself. But then in that, they don't give you anything in return. And then it's more like they can stay in this place of almost lying to themselves, thinking that they're more superior. Yeah, no boundaries, like, because it's like, well, you're not showing any boundaries. Boundaries are just when you're busy with your life and having a love affair in your own life, well, then you're not always available. And that's so when you pour more into you, because, and then you wind up meeting people that are also doing it for themselves, and then people that don't mind doing it for you. This person is like empty. They feel like there's a hole inside. And that's the issue. That's why they do drugs. That's why they do other things. Because they don't feel good. They don't know who they are. And when you don't know why you're here, money is an issue. Like, again, so you can see this person's finances, they go up and down. There's no ground. So there was no like real support growing up. And this person formed habits and behaviorisms built like the way that they grew up in survival mode. But it's, again, they're not, you're not a child anymore. You have to ground yourself. You need to put the energy into yourself, where I feel like this person wants somebody to come into their life and do it for them. And that's when you see like people that do have addictions, they can't do it for themselves, or they perceive that they can't do it for themselves. So they become that's their armor. Oh, I'm broken. You need to do it. That's not your identity. You're not trying to do it. And it's easier. I don't have to if you're right here doing it. Where again, I believe that the reason why you again came into this connection was all for your healing. It wasn't to be with this person. However, was there unconditional love? Yes, there was unconditional love, but if the person is all blocked up, it doesn't matter whether there's unconditional love. Person's broken, and being that they will continually keep you in a place of feeling broken, because they're not going to make you feel better when they feel like crap themselves. You wind up being there to help heal them, to fill them on an emotional level. There, he's not doing it himself. He's not happy. And so again, this is where you come into play, and you've already showed him this person. Well, I think, like, again, that's the money is that it's like you're not your job either. So he might have been successful in his job, but I just feel like it's not maybe living up to this potential, and living the way that everyone else tells him how to be. There's a sense that he's not living authentic within himself, even if he is, like, in career. What it is that he's not happy. And even if you are successful in your career, you have to be happy in other areas of your life too. So I just feel like being known in your career, now you have to live to a certain expectation. And if you're not healed, well, then that's when those behaviorisms are going to come out more. And like I said, the person that does drugs and the person that does all that, they're escaping. That's what they're doing. So unfortunately, you see that with some of the most successful actors. They are like really successful, but they have like a self-loathing aspect of themselves. Like they just feel like they're not good enough. And so then, because they feel that way about themselves, it's their look for that fulfillment outside, because it doesn't feel good to feel that way about yourself. So that's where drugs and addictions comes into play. And that's the thing. Well, to inspire this person, where if we're living our life, then they don't really need that to be extra. I feel like for you, you need to say, why was I so attached to this person? Because to me, what it sounds like is that this person, they have a pretty big ego. They have a pretty big ego. They think who they are. They're very self-indulgent, with the drugs and everything. And the relationship was one-sided. It's like you found a place in this person's life because there was a connection, but a connection really isn't enough. You can have that connection and assume that the person's going to treat you well, but if you don't teach them how to treat you, and you come in and you find a place to say, well, I'm going to be your muse and I'm going to make you feel good, well, then that's the role that you play. And they never really have to think about your needs, and that's really what it is. He wanted you to start, yeah, like, of course he would want you to start taking drugs, because it's party time, and it's always let me take it to the next step. It's like filling yourself. And at first it's like people that cheat. If you ever notice, like someone that's a serial cheater, at first it's, I cheat with one person, then I cheat with two people, then I cheat with three people at the same time, then I have this type of sex, then I have that type of sex. It's like because it's nothing's going to be satisfying, because all of those things are counterfeit. So it's like you were what that again, that muse, someone that makes me feel good, somebody that is here to serve me. Yeah, like, and that's, well, it is. It served him well, especially being that you said he was very successful. And so a lot of times you'll see people like even in Hollywood, it's a, it's a character. Like everything is determined on character. That's why you saw like when Britney Spears, when like her ego got out of control, she flopped. Lindsay Lohan, same thing. Like when people get like their ego gets really out of hand, that's when they a person crumbles. And what you see here is a person that is actually living by their ego. And what happens is it does escalate. It becomes more and more and more because you're filling a hole that can never be filled, because the person feels like inadequate, whether that's with job, whether that's with relationship, whether that's just even I'm successful in my job, but I still don't feel like I'm good enough. Like someone like Robin Williams, someone that was very successful, but he felt like he wasn't good enough. But meanwhile, everybody loved the person. So it has nothing to do with how, they really are. It's how they perceive that they are. And that's why I'm saying for you, it's like this person was so caught up in their own shit, they couldn't be there for you. That didn't mean that when you were around that they didn't enjoy your company. Of course they did. It's like, but it didn't require them to have to give you anything. And that's what we want to look at. It's like, well, what was the dynamic of the relationship? Why did you do that? Because listen, if the relationship is real, where the person will miss you and they will come back and you are different, can the relationship work? I mean, there's many people that are with narcissists and the relationship works. It's like, why does it work? Well, it's because, again, you have to be actually extremely strong to be with a narcissist. One that you like, you don't really need that person. Emotionally, you're fulfilled within yourself. And obviously, the narcissist wants to heal themselves on some level, and it's because narcissists feel empty inside. They feel broken. And that brokenness happened a long time ago. And they don't even remember it. It's like, like that's the thing. It's like you have a high vibe. High vibe, like when people again have that low energy, that's what it is. But this connection, I believe, was to help you ascend, to help you let go of certain things that, again, core beliefs that you held on to, where, we go back to your childhood, because you have to say, well, why did you attract this person? Well, first, see, is this person going to do anything? Because I know that you're like, are they going to do anything? It's like, it's not so much will they do anything, it's like, because you can go back into the relationship and have the same thing play out and still not be happy, because it's the way that you taught this person. So it's like if they think that it's a deep connection, and well, sometimes time apart does change a person's perception of what they want and what they don't want. I always felt I had a high calling in life, and our connection brings me more clarity to it. So, if they would, it's like, again, like you said, you were the muse, their muse. So, it would actually be through work, through doing something together, because this person tends to not just date people, I feel like. There's always a reason why. Like so, and you would need the glue. And the glue is, well, again, the purpose. And the purpose is through this person's job, through this person's, or through your job. It's doing something together. Give this person purpose. And really, that's what's missing. It's like they might have a job, but they don't have a purpose. So the job still makes a person feel depleted. It's when we feel, again, that we're doing something. So this person, like I said, you said that you did things together with this person. Well, I do believe that's what this person still thinks about. Just like you, I'm always doing some sort of mission. See, again, says it again, like maybe you're always doing something within your community, something that related to your purpose, something related to that, and where this person feels like, well, we would connect because of that. Again, because like this person enjoys that. That's the one area in life that they feel okay in. And so otherwise, everything else with the relationships, I feel like, tend to not work out because this person feels inadequate, so relationships that aren't really the best. Now, I feel like this person's with somebody else right now. They're with somebody else, but they know that it's karmic. So it's, again, they're with somebody else, but once they're free. Yes, all of my work has resolved around helping. Well, that's what this person likes about you. And so I feel like during their downtime, because you and this person are in separation, they're with somebody else right now. So, which is not uncommon. If a person doesn't feel fulfilled, that's the problem. They tend to go, but the relationship is not going to last because there's no glue to it. The glue is actually what you do. It's your connection to him. It's why he can actually see a connection with you. I just feel like it's almost like I have to date other people to know if you're really my person. And I hate to say that, but it's almost like otherwise the relationship is too good. So I'm like, okay, so you did see with someone. Yeah, like it's no, it's not. It's like because love is something that happens over time. And that's the thing. And this person did put time in with you, but it's almost like it's good, but is the grass greener on the other side? It's like because this relationship is difficult, and it's difficult because you make it difficult. You make this person step into a better version of themselves. So the person will always be like, oh, do I want to take the easy way out? Because this person has learned to deal with life through avoiding life. You know that because they do drugs. He thinks that he can find. Well, that's what I'm saying. He would like, but he won't be able to because no one will have that business savvy. No one will have that again. And that is what makes this person like be inspired by you. Well, that's what it is. It's like you ask too many questions and that's you make it difficult where someone else doesn't. Where it's also like they feel like I feel like sometimes they can be influenced by people that are in their environment, but also they get afraid that you'll be influenced by people in your environment about them. Where this person doesn't trust themselves in relationships. And I think that whoever's with them knows that and like sometimes says, says things to them. I'm beginning to focus on my mission, and our connection is part of that. It says it again with work. So, like, it won't matter whether or not this girl, it says, oh, there's no such thing as love, or if it was, if you were going to be with that person, you should have been with them already, or it would have worked out already. Because I feel like he's not giving anything to her, you know? I just feel as if it's, I don't really want to be alone, and, the attraction, but it's, again, it's not enough. And that's what I keep seeing here. Like, this person's like, our mission together, we're going to do something together. It's like they see you in their future, and they see you in their future because you're like the glue. You have that within them, but they know that they have to step it up, and that they would have to like change some of the ways that they have, the way that they deal. That's what the issue is. I see the resistance is that we need to wait for divine timing. Time is healing our wounds and creating the perfect conditions for our reunion. So I don't know whether or not they know that it's divine timing. I just feel like this person knows that they're going to wind up with you. They don't know when. And they just feel like they need to like go through like whatever this is, like, let me go and like date other people to make sure that it's not you, to make sure that, that I'm making the right decision. And it's mainly because this person doesn't trust themselves. It's like it doesn't really have anything to do with you. But we always have to say, well, why would you attract this person into your life? Why? I mean, even if you're going to be with this person, you'd have to say, why did they trigger me? Because I don't want to keep being triggered by them. When you change, well, that's a thing. It's you're the entire package. No, it's not. It's a very ego thing, and that's what I'm telling you. This person is coming from that perception, so they're not thinking about you and how it would be good for you. They look at the relationship as, how would it be good for me? And like that, and that's what you kind of taught them, because you were the helper, you were the fixer. So you didn't ask for anything in the beginning of the connection. You assumed that they were just going to do the right thing, but this person isn't you. And so that's where the problem came into play, why I said this person is selfish. I care about you even when I act like I don't. I'm hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. They weren't allowed to be vulnerable, which goes to that place of the the drugs and other things, and why this person like hides behind persona. Our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. So this is like a past life relationship. They feel the connection. It's like they've tried, but regardless, the person's an adult now. It's like they're gonna blame it on everything and everyone. But at this point, it comes to the fact of, I have a connection with Sassy, then I should put my energy with Sassy, instead of every time that Sassy says something that I don't like, or does something that I don't like, even though she's already proven that she only has my best interest at hand. I have to be in control. So instead, I resist. And then I don't just resist, but then I go out and I look for Sassy in another person. But it's, again, I never find it because Sassy has all the ingredients that I'm looking for. It's just she makes it difficult. She, again, would make me be accountable. She'd make me hold. And this is, again, where the resistance comes into play. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not like this person doesn't care. They're going to hide behind every little farting thing. It's like, because the issue isn't any of that. It resides in them. One of us is sad or angry, and it's creating an energetic match in frequencies. So again, when there's a past life connection and you get mad and annoyed, which you would be mad and annoyed because you're like, I care about you and I have feelings for you, but I've already proven myself to you, and you make things difficult. You just is like almost to a fault that it doesn't need to be difficult, and that's the block. So it's again, this person feels that you're disappointed, feels that you're angry. Now it's like, well, now that you're angry, I gotta like take a few steps back, because it's like I don't really want to deal with that either. So then you're dealing with that. And this is, I'm trying to leave my comfort zone with this issue. So it's not like they haven't thought about it. It's like if they don't really have a choice, because when you have love, you can't, it's the strongest energy. It's like I can't, but and I feel like they're like, well, I've tried to have this connection every way that I've wanted to have it. It just doesn't work. She doesn't fall for it. She wants it like on an equal terms. And so what it's brought is I can't validate our love in the 3D until I understand our spiritual love in the 5D. Give me aspects so I can be strong spiritual partner for you. So it's almost like they feel the spiritual connection. They're just not someone that makes uh, choices and decisions based on a spiritual connection. Because he realized last from spending my. Well, that's the thing. It's like I feel like this person, like, would they I'll pull for it, but I have a feeling that this person, it wouldn't really matter. It's like this person is somebody that's selfish. It's like he saw, but he would say, I didn't make you do that. That's something that you wanted to do, and like you wanted to do, and I never promised you to do it. So it's almost like I think that unfortunately that's what it is. It's like, do I think that they clearly saw that, you put your energy with them and not other people. But the question is like, do they do they feel it? Well, it's like, no, I don't. And I feel like they don't, because there's a sense of not really caring, like the value of you have to you're the person that has to show someone the value of something. So when you give up kids, it's like this person would say, well, you didn't really want to have kids, because if you wanted to have kids that bad, you wouldn't have stayed with me. you know um I didn't make you do that. And this is what the hard truth is about when we spend time with people and we think that they're going to treat us the way that we treat them. It's not. So it's like this person won't allow themselves to look at that, because then they would feel bad. And so it's almost like, and a person that doesn't get along with their mother, a man that doesn't get along with their mother, usually has mom issues, where it's like, well, mommy wasn't there for me, so it's okay that other people like are there for me and mother me. And so what it is, it's almost like they feel so insecure, but they elevate themselves where they actually feel self-entitled to it. And then they seek out people that are empathetic and sensitive, people that, don't know what their worth is, come in broken, knowing that you're going to be the muse, going to be the helper, going to be the fixer, going to nurture them. This is all that they have to do without really doing anything. So, what makes a person grow intimacy? It's how much we give a person, right? It's like intimacy is trust, and trust is something that's acquired over time, and that's by allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And what this showed here is, I have a hard time being vulnerable. Yeah, so it's like, so this is what they do. in order to be in a relationship. They don't have to be vulnerable because, I sensed you out, and, I just told you what my issue was, and you and you came in and you did it for me. So do I need to apologize for the fact that you came in and did it for me? This is where it's like, no, I don't need to come in and apologize. This is where the arrogance comes into play, and where that's really hurtful. But I'm going to tell you, just so that you never make the same mistake. It's that people then they get this sense of, well, you wanted to do it. And even though you wouldn't have done it, you did it because you wanted to be in a relationship with this person. This person knew that from the get-go. But they also knew that they didn't really want to have the same type of relationship because they didn't really want to be accountable. And that was the issue, because you'd make them not do drugs, you'd push them more in their career. You wanted what was best for them. Again, this person likes the way that your life looks. Well, you could do it, so you can come in and do it for me. Then, of course, you become their muse, but then what did this person give in return? And that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, he also knew I didn't have a great relationship. Well, and that's what it is. They use what you like are broken with and needed healing, and so then came in and pretended to do it, or it was run mainly by passion, by, that. It's like, and that's why I'm saying it's not like this person doesn't have feelings. It's almost like they're like, yeah, I might come back. It's like, I might come back because I don't see anyone else. But the issue is, it's like that they're that comfortable to come back. And it's because you did give up having kids. You did give up a lot. So, of course, you want this person to do those things. This person knows that. But then there's the problem now of the expectation of you wanting them to do that. So it becomes almost like, as soon as you become over it, that's when this person would actually come back. Because it's like, I do have a connection to you. And that's why, like, I did take the time to get to know you, but I took the time to know you through what you told me. So when you're getting to know someone next time, don't tell them anything about you. You have to make them get to know you by spending time with you, because then the person, that is how much they invest in you, has opened their heart. And that is again how intimacy is formed. This person had a closed heart, didn't really open up their heart, came in broken, so that you would give to them, because they were like, well, if I come in handicapped, you're going to assist me. You're going to give me more energy than what I give you, but I have an excuse. So I'm preying on your brokenness because I knew that you didn't have a good relationship with your mother. So emotionally, you don't really get enough for yourself. And people that like women that like men, well, they give stuff too. It's a known fact. So unless you're giving to me, this relationship will work. The moment that you want something, however, well, then the relationship is not going to work, because I'm empty and I need you to give to me. Yeah, never tell anyone too much when you're dating. No, you make them take the time to get to know you. It's like, and you don't need to let that person know anything about what type of relationship you had with your mother or your father or anything. It's like, because people will use what you tell them against you every time. So again, if the person's taking the time to get to know you, well, relationships happen over time, then they're actually building an emotional connection to you, and it's genuine. My father died and he said he wasn't there. Well, it's okay. It's like that's why you learn. And you know what I mean? It's like, and you can wind up in a relationship. I feel like you're going to wind up in a relationship with someone that actually has a kid already. So, and it would be fine. This person just, you know, doesn't do it. It's all about them. That's what the problem is. And that's what you know. You're like, you're one sided. It worked because for a long time, you were like, it made you feel good to be the fixer, to be the healer. But really, Spirit said you needed to do that for yourself. And that's because you didn't have a good relationship with your mother. You didn't have a good relationship with your dad. So you didn't emotionally get what you needed. You became a high achiever, but again, emotionally, you didn't get what you needed. So, Spirit says that you lead with that, but then what will happen is people will tend to use you for that, or make you feel as if you have to give that. Where instead you pour it into yourself, then people admire you for that, and then they have to actually give to you. No, I don't feel like this person has kids. I feel like you're going to be with a person that has kids. hmm This person, if they have kids, they never see them. It's like I just feel like that they don't. It's all about them, 24/7. And that's why I'm saying it's like, and it had nothing to do with you. And sometimes that's what it is. It's like you have a connection with somebody, and because it's a strong connection, and then you want to be nice and you want to be liked, and this person will allow you to do it. It's like, it's the actually like the oldest trick in the book, when a person just doesn't want to. It's like, I want to live safe. When the person's like, I've been hurt before, I want to live safe, like that's this person. But then it's like, yeah, but you're creating that same. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, you've been hurt, so you're going to create all these boundaries and all these rules, which actually keep me out. And by keeping me out emotionally, me and you don't build anything, because the relationship is all about equal give and take, reciprocity. Even every time you have to give, you have to open up your heart. You have to be vulnerable. That's what it is. This person never allowed you to create safety. You never felt safe, and that's what was the telltale sign. Well, they said the word safe lots of times, and I never understood the reference. Well, yeah, well, that's what it is. He didn't feel safe. Well, he didn't feel safe in himself because he didn't trust himself. Because again, judging his life on what he's created, and what he's created is Russian roulette. It's like, because a person that does drugs, that's what it is. And even though you say successful in work, I don't think he was very fulfilled in work. And that's a lot of times too, when you're successful and in the public eye, you're being told what to be, who to be, and you're not allowed to become who you are. So I always felt like I was waiting for some. Well, yeah, the shoe to drop. It's like, that's what it is, when you're always waiting for something to happen. And that's because this person was all over the place. And that's because they're not settled in themselves. That's someone that's spiritually off. You could feel it. And it's because you're like, I can't really trust what you're going to do from second to second. So it's not like he didn't care. Like, what I take away from this reading is really like this person is that they care. They're just selfish, and really gonna keep looking to be with people that are similar to you, so that they don't have to step it up. and it's like, and it's, you can't hide behind your mother and your father forever. It's like you're a grown person. It's like, it's a grounding thing. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Cleansing. Well, if you had problems with your mom and when you didn't feel loved and you didn't feel, well, the spirit's saying, well, part of this connection, like, how did this person make you feel? They made you feel like it, not loved, not chosen, not like the relationship was one-sided. Well, that it brings you back to that childhood trauma. So it was cleansing. Loner. It's like, yeah, I'm used to being a loner, but that's like, it's also about you realizing that when you come in being the fixer, you're gonna be the loner. You like it because you're not allowing the other person to actually come in and show you, to give. And a lot of times when you haven't gotten anything, it's not easy to accept, when a person actually gives you, is actually, and that could be because it didn't really happen for you that often. Thing is that the pictures of him and this other woman, the pic, look like he was studying the situation. Like, well, I feel like it's, again, a person like that, like I said, they never are really authentic. They create the persona. So with you, they came in broken. With this person, he may play a different role. But the bottom line is he's empty inside, and that's why he's turns is able to be a chameleon. That's why he wears the masks, because he doesn't know who he is. When you don't know who you are, you don't like who you are, because you can't manifest good experiences. Because when you don't know who you are, there's always a sense of insecurity. There's always a sense of not being able to be transparent, not being authentic. So what you're going to manifest is exactly that. You're not going to manifest what you want it to be. The universe doesn't do that. The universe goes to what it is that you're doing. So if you're creating the illusion because you don't really feel that you can have a successful relationship another way, well, that's what the universe is going to conspire to. So that's why I said this person doesn't trust. And yes, they will sit there and obviously have to blame it on something. So they're not going to blame it on themselves. They're going to blame it on their childhood. They're going to blame it on their mother. They're going to blame it on their father. But after a while, the person's out of that situation for a long time. So again, the behaviorisms and habits that you create for survival, eventually they're the downfall of you. They're going to prevent you from having abundance and anything that's in alignment with abundance, because you're not in that energy. So that's when the person has to learn. And spirit did bring you into this person's life. They did have feelings, but they refused to be open to it, and you just kept giving, so they didn't have to do it. Well, that's what it is. A person that doesn't trust, they don't trust themselves. So what they do is they scheme, and what happens is they don't think about you at all. And that's what I was saying when you're like, does he realize what he, it's not that he doesn't realize, he doesn't care. It's like, because he'll justify it and say, well, I didn't tell you to do that. And it's because he's in his ego. And it's a person that is all about deception. I don't trust you, so I'm going to come in broken. Well, you're the one that's deceiving. So again, the focus is on not really believing there could be a relationship. So this person never gets close enough to form that intimacy. You have to be transparent. You have to be vulnerable. You have to, and this person never showed any of those traits. So even though the time that was spent was time, it was how deep was it? And if the person again was talking to you and talking to other people, which I feel like this person does because they don't go deep. So how much are you going to get? You got to get your needs met from a few different people. Well, then it's like, well, what is it then? It's like, right, this person was too shallow. And that's the problem with surface relationships. When you're in a connection with someone that's real surface and you know it, you're like, you're not letting it go deep. And without going deep, you do not form that emotional connection. And relationships with that, you'll wind up with someone that emotionally can't give you again. And that was really what the karmic lesson really is for you, which is, I never get taken care of. I'm not the one. It's like, but I'm the one that's giving, and spirit saying, yeah, because look how much you're giving to this person that's not giving back. You're doing it because you want this person to give back. Then there's expectation. And when there's expectation, you're going to attract a person that also has expectation. And that's not unconditional love. It just looks like that because you were actually ready to learn the lesson and be like, I don't want this. Where this person is like, no, I'm going to stay shallow because of my insecurity. He does love the beginning of the relationship because it's fantasy time. It's not real. Really, it's what I want you to be, and then he tried to shape you into what he wanted you to be, and you went along with that for a certain amount of time, and then what he realized is, well, that's not filling me either, because you can't fill a person, though you did your best to do that. And that's where you went wrong, is what spirit's saying. It's like, you shouldn't have given this person so much. He did love you for what this person knows what love is, but that this person like knows love to be, it's very selfish. It's like, it's not evolved, because they're still hiding behind what happened in childhood, but they're an adult now. And you know what? It's like, so you have to say, what was I supposed to learn? And really, it was all about cleansing your energy of this. And what it is I can't be loved. I have to be a loner. It's like I do everything alone. There's never where spirit says no, but that's because, again, in wanting it. So if you pour into yourself, you become it, and then you don't need anything. Right. Because this person knew like how much you poured in. So look at all this investment. You're not going to go anywhere. So I don't need to change. All I need to do is act broken. So I'm going to continue to keep taking from you, because it's like, it's not that I don't have feelings, but it's like there's a lot about me that, lies and secrecy, like, that I would have to heal, that I would actually have to confront. And I don't really want to do that. That's why I came in broken with you right from the beginning. And you were so busy trying to win me over that you weren't paying attention to what your needs were. You just assumed that I would do that for you. Where again, which is why this person doesn't really like have to be accountable, because they're like, I didn't tell you to do it, I didn't make you do it, which is the hard truth. When we're like, well, they knew that I did it because I love them. They should have told me why their needs were being met. That, and if anything, they elevate themselves and say, well, like, you were here and I also gave to you. I did care. They remember things differently, when really you're like, yeah, but how much I gave to you. And that's when spirit says yes. But the moment that you realized, which was a long time ago, that you were giving more and weren't getting in return, you kept thinking, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going. People will treat you right away how they want to treat you, and it's how you have taught them how to treat you. So when you want someone to give you, you don't give them everything. You make them take the time to get to know you. because then they have their heart open and they want to give. But if you're so available, then it's, I don't really need it to do that. And that's what this person was. They were like, I don't really need to do that. So it's like a loophole where normally a person that's broken will come in and they will actually try to like elevate themselves and make themselves appear like a good catch, where this person was like, nah, I'm not even going to have to do that because you're showing me how much you like me. So I'm just going to come in and act like broken to begin with. So I don't really have to give that much. But then you're going to still see my grandioso behavior when I'm not around you, which again is how you know, wait a minute, like I see this other energy. I got the impression that the other woman in his life would use him for drinks and stuff. Well, I feel like you normally attract people like yourself, right? So even though you're like, well, I wasn't really like that. No, but you want the love and you want that, and the same thing is that this person also wants that also. I just think that, yeah, like, I mean, most people are going to be with somebody that wants them for whatever that they can give, especially if they're so shallow, right? If a person is shallow, they're not giving anything. Why else are you there? It's like you want something. So that's why it's like with you, he was like, he knew that you genuinely really cared about him and really like helped him with his career. There's this sense like, well, one day we may be together. One day I might be able to figure it out. And if we do, it would be again something with business and something to create together and this. But we also see that he's fragmented. He likes to run around with different people and not really get deep here for a good time, not a long time, and just something to feed his ego so he can stay in that low vibration. And so I think the illusion that one day I could always come back to you is actually what makes this person not move forward and not really try. Where you're like, they can't come back to me at any time. Not saying that they can, but the illusion, because of how much you gave, is how much you gave up, how much you gave, how much you wanted it, how much, where like people get cocky and they hide behind the illusions so that they don't have to do what they do. I mean, getting his flat sorted out and made home, only he made drastic changes. So a lot of what talked about he used to improve. Oh yeah, well that's what it is. It's like someone to like will utilize you for what, how it benefits them if they can. Now, or the relationship is just surface, here for a good time, not a long time. And so I can maybe get sex. I can maybe, you can blow smoke up my ass and make me feel good about myself. You know what I mean? Like, but aside from that, like this person doesn't want to give anything. So it has nothing to do with you, but it made you feel as if it had something to do with you. And that's why it was all about, that's what it was all about. It was all about, why did you attract this person into your life? Like self-love, cleansing, that you don't have to be alone. You don't have to be alone. And the lies that you tell yourself, like being like bound to a person like this, again, that brings like neglect. So on some level in childhood, that you had a wound that was like this, where you're like, I didn't emotionally get what I needed. I was neglected. So really, that's why you gave to this person. You almost were the parent to this person, which by the way winds up being codependent and always will wind up making you feel alone, which is how you always felt. And It's all about giving yourself the self-love. That's how you reparent yourself. Otherwise it's like it keeps you in a very low vibration, because it's like, well, it makes me feel like I'm not deserving of, where spirit says you're deserving of, you just needed to do it for yourself. Well, that's why it's like you're not going to do it anymore. You're going to do for yourself. And you learn from this lesson and understand this person loves you, but they love you the way that they know how, on their level of consciousness, which is they're selfish. So they're on a very low vibration, and that's what the problem is. So it's don't you are not the way that somebody treats you. It's like if someone treats you like shit, that's a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. By you saying, well, they made me and that makes me feel, well, that's not you. It's that, but but then understand the spiritual lesson of what needs to happen. And that's where you again give yourself, yeah, to heal yourself. And that's what you're doing. And then become yourself, because the way you get to see yourself differently is by becoming yourself. So by taking some workshops and then being very interactive in the other things which you love to do, you'll find your tribe. You live your bliss. When you're in this high vibration, you meet somebody that the universe brings you, not trying to make something so difficult work. This is like, it was difficult for your mother to have a relationship with your mother because she didn't show you love. And then you wind up in a relationship with a person that doesn't know how to show you love either. So it's almost like it shouldn't be this difficult. It's like that's really what spirit was saying. Whether if he has the, I think that it's he a person that does addiction, the way that they have to heal is they have to heal themselves. It's like the addiction is the default mechanism to deal with life, to deal with stress. So, this person did not, believe me, did not all of a sudden become someone else on their own. They usually go out and meet somebody else. That's why it's about narcissistic energy, when that's why it was like this person doesn't feel bad. They'll justify, they hide behind. It's all about you right now. Look at that. Me. I allow serenity to regain in me the love I have for myself. Invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to and honor and strive to fulfill the needs of my own soul. So, like this is what this relationship showed you. Yeah, it was all about, like, unfortunately, it was all about how this person made you feel, and that you didn't get what you needed, that you were like in that karmic cycle, and that almost created a karmic loop, which is, I was raised by someone that made me feel this way, now I'm with a person that makes me feel this way, so I really can't be loved. Where God says that's impossible, because you are love. That's the energy inside of you. You're the energy of the universe, and the energy of the universe is love. That's when we're at the perfect state, when we're born without prejudice, without anything. When we're born as babies, we're in that perfect state. So this person made you feel that no matter what you gave, no matter what you did, it wasn't enough. And that was the same energy that you were brought up with. So you have to reparent yourself by giving yourself the self-love, but also to channel this energy into rage is really like the rage energy that you would have from being with people that devalued you. Like, you have to channel it into purpose, which is what you do anyway without this person. And if you do that, I believe that this person will feel bad, because, hey, they want to be the one that gets noticed. They want to be the one. They're a little bit narcissistic. And here you'll be getting the attention. And what you're showing this person is, you didn't affect me. at all. My life is still great. And it only gets better. It actually got better without you in it. And now I'm just utilizing all my energy into myself. And that will get underneath that person's skin, because again, narcissists want you to give them your energy. You are a good supply. You don't you took that away. They're not going to find a supply like you. That's what it said here. It's like, if I'm with you, I'm going to be with you because we're going to create something together. We're going to do something together. This person wanted to utilize that. So you cleanse it and you say, no, I'm going to do this alone. I'm used to being alone anyway. So I'm going to pour it all into myself. And that's how I give myself self-love. I'm not going to, you know, do anything else, because when you're transmuting it, then, like I said, a whole new world is opening up. You're not even going to be the same energy vibration of this person. You wouldn't even want this person in your life. And even though you say, well, I wasn't a jerk like them. No, but by you giving to someone that wasn't giving anything in return and keeping you in a place of where you weren't loving yourself, well, this person doesn't love themselves. So you're on the same energy vibration. So this person just mainly came into your life to help you cleanse it. And so I believe that they did teach you and they did bring other things to your life. But like, as far as what you thought that they would bring, no. But is it too late? No. I think that you can just utilize your energy, pour it into yourself, and it'll make a way where there is no way just for you. And that's when you're letting the universe take control. And you're not like trying to make something work that it's not working. And it's not working because the person's not on your vibration. Ambiguous. Well, I feel like if you were a muse for someone, it's so you could be like a good healer. When we have severe childhood trauma around our mother, understand that first relationship, you wind up becoming more sensitive, because that's a survival mechanism. As children, we don't really have a logical, analytical mind that's fully developed. So, the first sense is sense of smell, and it's like an animal. It's, the survival mechanism is hooked up to the olfactory nervous system. So your sensitivity is heightened because, again, growing up in the environment, and you had to overcome certain things. So it's about, partially, like, the healer's journey is all about healing oneself first and seeing what calls to you. Because you might say, well, part of my healing journey was I needed to take meditation, but I hated every single meditation, but I liked this one, and I became a transpersonal meditation specialist. It's like, were you looking for that? No, I was actually healing myself, but I liked it so much, and then it helped me connect to different people. It's like part of the journey. It's an actual unfoldment process. And so you're bringing to people and situations and experiences that show you what your path really is. It's like, but it all starts with you. And if you say, well, I don't have anything, Spirit always says you start with yourself. What needs to be healed? What would you like improvement in? What do you desire? Where do you lose your time, your energy, your focus, your money? Again, you know what that is. It's like, well, I like this kind of stuff. Spirit says, well, that's a clue. It's, again, then what else do you need? It's, again, it's about healing yourself, making yourself into the best version of yourself. Once you do that, that you're also healing your spiritual body. So intuitively, you'll also be led. And then when you're putting your energy towards certain things, well, you do the research, and then you see all of a sudden everywhere on the internet pops up similar things that you're interested in. You're like, Like, oh, I wanted to learn about crystals, and now look, every time I open up my friggin' phone, I see advertisements on crystal shops, crystal this, crystal that. It's like you're putting yourself out there. When you put yourself out there, your higher self leads you to what you need. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. We're not in charge of who comes to us or the way that we are supposed to go on the path, because a lot of times we wouldn't volunteer to go the way that the universe is telling us to go. But understand, only God can change your mind and your heart. And God is the universe, and the universe will always bring you things to help you change and evolve. So there's a part of you that doesn't really believe you can be loved because of the situation with mom, and now this situation of being in the connection. So you have no choice but to become love. And it starts by healing yourself. And then I believe that your path will unfold the way that it's supposed to. And so it's just not to do like Reiki and vortex healing, but maybe it's to speak about it, educate about it. It's your creative vision. So it's whatever you do. So a lot of people take classes and they become something, but they take classes and they never become any and use it. So this is about creating yourself. It's okay to take Reiki, but what are you utilizing it for? Are you making money with it? This is what we're talking about. Like, otherwise you're not seeing shit with it. It's like, if you're taking a class, it's then to say, well, how am I going to utilize this? Am I going to teach about it? Am I going to educate about it? Do I have a Facebook page? Do I have you're like, it, the grounding issue in order to see yourself differently. This person showed you that there's a part of you that you don't love. And the part of you that you don't love is the fact that business, you don't know what you're here to do. You don't feel strong in that. So Spirit says, well, you said that you were helping this person become it. So how can you help someone become it when you're not it? So again, it's to say, well, what were you telling this person to do? Did you enjoy to do what this person was doing? Is to become yourself. And becoming yourself means that you're utilizing whatever's in the environment to also become yourself. And then the universe is also bringing you people, situations, and experiences that intuitively you're drawn to, feeding. And this is how the path unfolds. This is how you live your bliss. This is how you really know what you're here to do. Otherwise, you're like not co-creating with the universe. You're looking outside for something to help you with that. And I think that was part of the reason why you stayed with this person, because you saw their business savvy and you were like, well, I like what you have going on here, and I could do that too, and I can help you. And that was part of it. I've been doing it for years. I know how to help. Well, and that's why I'm saying, so now it's about doing it. And that might mean take classes, go to Udemy and see like what's online to practice. Become yourself means that you have to feed it. And so, well, I took this class, I learned this, and I did this. And now I'm practicing, and I practice on my Facebook page. I practice on my Instagram. You have to embody the new consciousness in order to see yourself different. Yeah, like you should have been, but he wasn't looking to help you. He was looking to take from you. And that's the thing. He saw your potential. You didn't see yours. And that's really what it's about. It's about that. It's about Spirit saying you needed to put the energy literally into yourself. And that's the card that came out. It was me. It's that like put the energy into you. It's like instead, because those broken parts will be what dictates who you draw into your life. Now, as you're becoming it and you're healing it, then what you're going to notice is you starting to draw different types of people into your life right away. That's what happens. You wind up seeing like, wow, like the type of people are different. They're not people that would take from me. They're people that are actually would contribute to me. That's how you know that you're on the right track. It feels right. It's an intuitive language. You just know it's easy. Just kind of fell into place. It's like it just feels right. And that's why I'm saying this connection felt like wrong for a long time. And it's not because the person didn't love, but they're selfish. So it doesn't matter. And I'm going to leave that there because my throat is killing me. I have to blow my nose. I'm dying with my allergies. But I wanted to do your reading, Sassy. I hope that you resonated with it. And, I actually hope that you didn't resonate with it because it was like, it's sad because the person's a jerk, but understand like that's part of it. We have to date people that are selfish in order to know. Well, I'm glad, Sassy. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and thank everyone else for supporting the channel and being on. I'll be on tomorrow and looking a lot better, but I'm going to go to bed really early tonight. Like I'm saying, like really early, possibly by like 9 o'clock. I'm dying. So thank you for being on, and thank you for sharing your energy with me, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.